I'm gonna make a controversial statement though. I think her moonsault perhaps may be even better than the perk salt.
Nigga, what? You just seen what Kurt Angle just did? You seen that shit? Bro, I'm gonna have to go back, bro. Hell no, bro. I seen, bro, Kurt Angle got some bro, what? He got some height on that fucking move. Look at this shit, bro. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy LITA. Welcome back to another video, and today we have a special video for you guys. This is called the new LITA, which WWE fans didn't get. Now, I don't know who the fuck they're talking about. All I know is I know who LITA is. One of my favorite female wrestlers of all time, if not the favorite. So without further ado, let's go ahead and watch this video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and let's get straight into the video.
Alright, it's the smack talker, gut puncher, carrot cruncher, the HAWK, all night, all day. Who remembers Trinity? No, not that one. The one from WWE ECW. Chances are you either don't have a clue who I'm on about, or you remember her being nothing but eye candy for a brief time. Well, what if I told you she was way more than you could ever have imagined? And she actually had a big role in the early days of TNA, which saw them push her as their version of LITA. And no, it's not a silly comparison in any way. Get ready to spray. Trinity wrestled 6 matches on the Indies starting in 2002 before getting her big break. Trinity debuted...
God damn, shit. Let me wrestle 6 matches on the Indies and let me get my big break. I don't give a fuck if it's TNA, NXT, BET, MTV, or WWE. I need my fucking get back, you know what I'm saying?
TNA as early as their 22nd pay-per-view ever. No one knew who she was or why she was here. She was given a position as a manager of a tag team called Divine Storm. Despite being just shoved here on screen without any explanation, it was clear that the camera loved Trinity. This girl was just here randomly hitting dives on the guys.
Damn.
It wasn't just the fact that she was more muscular than a team that she was managing, or the fact that she had a sick moonsault. She just had a much bigger presence than her team and their opponents. They felt like indie geeks, but she felt like she belonged on telly. It was clear that she belonged and the others didn't. Just to be clear though, Divine Storm were fine in the ring, they were just completely bland and forgettable. And TNA management seemed to agree with that statement because pretty quickly they were gone, but Trinity remained. She actually had her team on a winning streak before that ended. It was one of those rare times when you actually look forward to her interference in the matches because she'd always do something cool. Plus, I mean, come on, you're not going to complain when she's on your screen. Trinity went on to make her in-ring debut on the 30th TNA show. She was paired up with Kid Cash, and her association with him would have a bit more continuity than her last team. Their opponents were Sunny, Don't Look at My Ass Siaki, and Desire, his baby mama. Trinity and Desire were pretty much the only women in TNA at this point, so they'd fight all the time. Unfortunately, Desire wasn't as skilled in the ring. Trinity impresses here again in her first match. She's doing things that we'd only really seen from LITA, or maybe Molly Holly. She was pretty rare by 2003 standards. Having a woman who could do this stuff really made her stand out, and it made her matches must watch. And you gotta remember, she's only a year into the wrestling business. She really has no business being this good. I'm gonna make a controversial statement though. I think her moonsault perhaps may be even better than the perk salt.
Nigga, what? You just seen what Kurt Angle just did? You seen that shit? Bro, I'm gonna have to go back, bro. Hell no, bro. I seen, bro, Kurt Angle got some bro, what? He got some height on that fucking move. Look at this shit, bro.
Statement, though.
Look at this shit, bro. Look how he just bounced up. Nigga, that's Kurt Angle.
I think even
he has
been
perk.
By a moonsault, but we'll come back into talking about the perks.
That's perk.
Kid Cash seemed to
no, fuck that. No.
Worked. She even helped Kid Cash capture the X Division title. People were even cheering Kid Cash. He was probably the most natural heel of all time. The guy might as well have dickhead tattooed on his forehead, and I'm sure he'd agree with that. There were early signs that Trinity's high-risk style could end up costing her though. After a couple of months, Kid Cash got jealous of Trinity because she was stealing his spotlight. Also, people kept annoying him by saying he was only the champion because of her, specifically Amazing Red.
You want to wrestle her? She's a girl. A girl. Hello? Unlike you, I'm a gentleman, you little prick.
So a triple threat match was set for the X Division title, with Trinity becoming the first woman in TNA history to challenge for a men's belt. She looks like $1 million, a complete Amazon who would put most men to shame. She almost looks out of place in the scruffy, mouldy TNA asylum.
Damn.
She holds her own in this match, but I bet it helps that Amazing Red is smaller than her, and therefore it's believable. Cash steals the win from her. Mickie James debuting for TNA gave Trinity something to do before they pulled the trigger on her feud with Kid Cash. Trinity just keeps winning, she's actually undefeated at this point. With Trinity's popularity rising, she gets a long interview of Markyd123. She talks about all her stunt work and racing jet skis for a living. She reveals that she was in the films Anaconda, Daredevil, U-Turn and Law & Order as a stunt woman. Quite a repertoire. She also reveals she's been trained by Mikey Whipwreck to wrestle. The jealousy of Kid Cash continues to grow. Trinity tries to save Kid Cash from a Raven beatdown, but all it does is encourage the crowd to cheer her even more. They finally pull the trigger on Kid Cash's heel turn, and he slaps Trinity during a promo. They will go one-on-one in a match, but the title won't be on the line. The crowd really want to see her, and the noise is deafening. Trinity holds her own in the early going before kicking Kid Cash out the ring and hitting a moonsault to the outside of the ring. Cash responds with his smash mouth chair shot to stop her. She fires back with a whisper in the wind and a hurricanrana. It's going so well.
I'm not gonna lie, bro. She's the most athletic female I've ever seen. I'm not glazing. I'm not just like, I'm dead ass. Her moveset, everything she do is literally just so fluid. To me, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Skill wise, she's way better than Lita. Skill wise.
Until it goes so wrong. Once again, Trinity's high-risk style goes wrong as the referee gets wiped out.
Damn.
After some interference, Trinity beats Kid Cash, still undefeated. Well, TNA must have been really pissed off with that blown spot, because for the next month, all she does is lose. It's such a dramatic change that you can't help but notice it. Cash cost her a bunch of matches, and no, she never did get her shot at Cash's title, despite beating him one-on-one. Weird, why bother having him beat him? He does have another one-on-one match with him, but it's another match which is a cringy high-risk botch fest. There's just constant ugly dives here. Then there's an ugly looking powerbomb, followed by yet another ugly dive where she just sort of slops backwards.
Damn.
Cash ends up beating her in 2 minutes, one of the worst TNA matches of all time. I made a mistake in my worst TNA matches video and I covered the wrong match between these two by mistake.
Yeah, man, I'll take that back. She's not better than Lita.
This one is genuinely bad and should be seen for just how bad it was. 4 or 5 botches in 2 minutes. It's hard to match that. And Trinity was never seen again on TNA screens, no I'm kidding. But she was massively depushed. One more loss to the notorious KID where the crowd are firmly behind her, showing that she still has work.
That was
TNA.
sick.
And then they kicked her off the show and sent her to Explosion, a show that nobody ever watched. Something else unfortunate happened at this point. During a dark match, Trinity broke Desire's back with a fisherman suplex, although watching it back, I'm not really sure who's to blame. It must have been really hard for Trinity to stick around wrestling with TNA at this point because everything was going wrong. She was also dating Kid Cash during this time and it was reportedly a bit of a rough relationship for her. She returned to the main show later that year as a heel. She was now one of Vince Russo's henchmen, except she wasn't a mun. She actually looked even better than ever here. She helped AJ Styles retain his world title. She was mostly paired up with Sonny Don't Look at My Asiaki, or running interference to help AJ Styles win his matches. She wasn't doing much, but she sure looked good doing nothing. This all goes nowhere, and she doesn't have a match on the main show for 10 months. There was just no women signed for her to fight with. You might even be wondering if she actually returns to the ring, and the answer is yes, but you won't like how it happens.
Fuck.
Trinity randomly turns on Siaki with a chair and joins the gifted Glenn Gilberti, How Is He Gifted, faction. So she traded one pointless faction for another pointless faction. I guess it made sense because she was also from New York with Italian heritage. And she is apparently the leader of this group, although it never felt like it. The real reason that they brought back Trinity was because Desire returned from her broken back injury, and now this is going to be some sort of epic feud. It's dumb though because Trinity wasn't exactly gloating or bragging about breaking her back. The whole situation that it even happened was news to me. Most people probably forgot Desire had even existed. She'd hardly done anything in TNA. Oh well, it's another woman for her to finally fight. And fight they do, like no other woman wrestler can possibly exist in the TNA universe. Their first match back in the ring and Desire actually beats Trinity in a nothing match. It just feels really stupid that Trinity could actually lose. Desire just feels too cute and nice. I can't imagine her beating anybody. And Trinity wrestling as a heel was also silly. You've got this girl who can do these crazy moves, but you're not going to have her do anything. Trinity wins the second match, which is also scruffy, but she does try to break Desire's back with a moonsault in a post-match attack. She also beats a young Angelina Love in a good match and moonsaults her on a steel chair. The feud between Desire and Trinity leads to the biggest match of their wrestling careers. It's a stretcher match. It's actually very hardcore for a women's match in 2004. They kick the hawk out of each other. And it looks like Desire has the match won when Trinity throws herself through a table off a balcony.
God damn, this looks like a very interesting match. I might have to watch this shit on the channel.
But when they arrive at the ambulance, Big Vito debuts in TNA. He hits the door into Desire's head and Trinity wins. Big Vito has joined the NYC faction. So I guess the moral of the story is, if you can recover from something as crazy as a broken back, don't bother. You won't gain anything from your return. No fairy tale story here then. They start this storyline that Trinity is bored of not having matches again. She wants to fight the guys, but she isn't allowed. Instead, she's given a match on the first ever monthly TNA pay-per-view against a mystery opponent. That opponent turns out to be Jacqueline, debuting for TNA. Now we're talking something for Trinity to fight.
Hell yeah.
But the match goes 1 minute and Trinity wins. Guess she's going back to doing nothing again then. In 2004, Trinity won.
That's fucking Jacqueline though. What the fuck? Anyway,
85% of her matches, the highest win percentage of any regular competitor, showed that TNA had faith in her and wanted to push her like a star. But the lack of a division really harmed her. After the New York faction fizzled out, Trinity started feuding with Tracy Brooks over who could be Dusty Rhodes' assistant. She was mostly seen in the back of his little truck arguing on a hay bale. It was constantly insinuated that both were performing sexual favours to secure the job from Dusty. Trinity lost this competition after it was settled in the ring between two tag teams that the women had selected and managed. Why not have the women have an actual match between the two? Seeing as she had nothing to do again, she became the manager for Michael Shane, who was Shawn Michaels' cousin and nothing else.
what?
Trinity's big moment came at Lockdown 2005. During an escape match, Trinity started climbing up the cage. She kicked Tracy Brooks away who was trying to stop her, causing her to mess her foot up. And Trinity just keeps climbing. Now for the moment that will leave Perk Ankle dumping in his nappy, because Trinity hits a Perk Salt off the top of the cage. Insane stuff for a woman. There can't be many more crazy spots that women have competed in wrestling history in this side of the water.
That was more perfect than Perk Angle. But his moveset will forever be the best, in my opinion.
Trinity wrestled her final TNA match at Hard Justice 2005. When it comes to her TNA run, I can't help but think about all the missed opportunity and drop balls there were. She should have been a big star in TNA, there just wasn't enough for her to do. She received a tryout with the WWE and ended up signing a developmental contract with them. She stayed down in OVW for a while, feuding with Beth Phoenix. Things seemed like they were about to improve for Trinity when she turned up on the second ever episode of WWE ECW. She was now the manager for the Full-Blooded Italians. Hey, we saw that outfit in TNA several years before. The Hawk could never forget that outfit. But disaster struck and she messed her leg up performing a moonsault on an ECW house show.
What?
Terrible timing. This
What?
kept her off TV for 4 months just when she was starting to catch a break. She returns in October 2006 playing a game of poker with Balls Mahoney and the other divas. It's kind of funny to think about all the things Trinity had done in her career compared to these women. But instead, no, she's just here as nothing but a piece of eye candy.
Fuck.
She has a new gimmick now though as well, where she flexes her boobs. Who do you think came up with that one? Let me know in the comments. This is horrible, she's more than this. The messed up thing is as well that most of the WWE fans didn't know anything about her and just assumed she was just like all these other ladies. Her work as a stunt woman is not mentioned. You'd think it would be, you'd think that story writes itself for the WWE. Balls Mahoney is a lucky man for being a part of this segment. Trinity is best remembered in the WWE for the Halloween costume contest. Her outfit was just a strip of caution tape. Trinity gets a massive crowd ovation and they choose her as the winner of the costume contest. WWE capitalised on that big moment for her by shoving her back with Little Guido in the FBI, and that's where she remained, just like most of her career as a manager. She was released from the WWE in 2007 without having a single wrestling match on television,
What?
even though she would have been better than 95% of the women's roster. She retired from wrestling after her
What, bro? Imagine the matches she could have fucking had with Trish Stratus and Lita and all the fucking girls. Even though, like, you got Molly Holly, you had fucking, forgot the rest. I forgot the rest, but they had a couple of good wrestlers and shit. Like, there wasn't like nothing like the WWE today, but shit, fuck. At least keep the girl. Like, what the hell is Vince seeing? Just titties?
WWE release and wanted to concentrate more on her stunt work. Ultimately, she didn't seem to enjoy a brief stay in the WWE. In an interview, she said that the other girls threw her bags out the locker room and it was less professional there than TNA. Since quitting wrestling, her CV has really expanded in crazy directions. In 2008, she was the winner of a Screen Actors Guild Award for performing stunts in The Bourne Ultimatum. She was also nominated for another award in 2009. She worked on the TV show Gotham, and she performed stunts for the video game Red Dead Redemption 2. Pretty impressive stuff. And that's just the media I've actually heard of. Her work list is really long. Although she had retired from wrestling, there was time for one final TNA appearance in 2013. She wrestled on one of the one night only pay-per-views, so you probably didn't realise it happened because nobody watched these things. After no match for 8 years, it was honestly really cool to see Trinity back in TNA. She didn't look like she had aged a day despite being 41. Unfortunately, the crowd had no idea who Trinity was. TNA did her dirty. There was no hype package to remind people. Trinity seemed disappointed by the crowd's reaction. She used to have the crowd going nuts.
Nice going, TNA. Just can't get it right, can you?
For her. ODB wins the match, and it was a pretty sad way for Trinity's wrestling career to end. So Trinity, she's the case of the right person at the wrong time. She had all the attributes to be something in this wrestling business, but TNA didn't have a women's division. She also suffered because she wasn't able to improve her in-ring skills when she needed to, because she only debuted at the start of the 2000s. Maybe some of the stuff she was trying was a bit too advanced for her, but she clearly had athleticism on her side and she looked like a star. She could also talk well too, as long as she could tolerate that heavy New York accent. But I think it's important to remember the stuff that this woman did throughout her career and show that she was more than just a piece of ass in ECW. The girls that she was on screen with probably had an easy time getting into the WWE, but for Trinity it was a long hard road. And if you don't agree with that, I'll go into smash mode.
Well, you guys, that's the end of the video. Me personally, I feel like she had talents. I feel like she was ahead of her time. I honestly feel like she was ahead of her time, and I feel like if you put her in the right time slot, I mean, like between like 2004 and 2006, WWE, you know what I'm saying, Raw or something, SmackDown, I feel like she would fit right in with the Trish, the Lita, and everybody else. And I feel like, hell, even nowadays, bro, you put her in this fucking mix right now, man, with Jade Cargill, and you got Io Sky, and you got Rhea Ripley, and all these other, I feel like women like her paved the way for women of today, you know. But please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.